Chapter 2, Bird's Eye View, Looking More Closely at Animals, Part 1. Unit 2, Bird's Eye View, Looking More Closely at Animals. Activity 1. This unit is about looking more carefully at animals. Look carefully at the picture, list as many things as you can. Okay, now in this picture they have given us this picture. They want us to look it carefully and list as many things as we can. Okay, now uh, this is a very elusive picture, and it is a picture of well camouflaged mother hummingbird, and it is an invisible by most passers, and passers means those who are passing around, they are not able to see this bird. Camouflage means the bird has taken the mixed himself with the area or with the tree on which he is sitting, so they have become one of the part of the tree, so they have changed their body according to the look and appearance of the tree. The bird is in the nest and probably guarding her young ones. She is feeling a little she is feeling little uncomfortable for having uh, this kind of privacy. The things we can find in this picture are tree branches, nest, leaves, etc. And then the next question they are asking, how many things did you list? So what I have listed is the bird, the branch, the nest, the tree. Definitely if we have branch then we'll have tree. So these are my list. You can write your list over here. Share your list with the classmate. List one extra thing you learned from your classmate. So uh, you can share the list with your friends, and the extra thing that you have learned which you have not observed but your friend has observed, so you can. Activity 2. In unit 1 you looked at this picture as art. The puzzled fox is also a puzzle. There are many strange faces and animals hiding in this picture. This picture was published long ago in 1872. In the picture are three birds that are not hidden. They are in the tree on the left. They are the passenger pigeons. Passenger pigeons were once the most common bird on the planet. These birds sadly can no longer be found in the real world. They are extinct. Loss of forest and too much hunting caused them to die out. The last known passenger pigeon was named Maratha. Maratha died in a zoo in America in 1914. So this picture we have seen earlier also in the first chapter. Okay, and this the name of the picture is the puzzled fox, but it is also a puzzle. There are many strange faces and animals that are hidden in this picture. Okay, and they are what they want to say that um, on the left side of the tree we can see the three pigeons, and these pigeons are known as the passenger pigeons. They used to send these passenger pigeons are being used to send the message from one place to the another place, but unfortunately these passenger pigeons are the extinct birds on the earth now. They are no more, their species are no more, and this happened because of the deforestation and a lot of hunting that took place. Last passenger pigeon that was seen and that was been recorded was recorded in America in 1914, and the name of that last passenger pigeon was Maratha. Unfortunately now these pigeons are not there on the earth. Now they want us to look carefully at the picture. The puzzled fox walk along to find and circle and as many animals and faces as you can. When you have found as many as you can, count the animals and faces and record the number here. So this is a fun activity. So you can observe this picture and find out the number of faces and animals and birds in this picture and write it in the blank. By myself, I found dash animals and faces. Number of animals and faces you have found out, you have to write it in the blank. Moving ahead to activity 3. Now sit back to back with your classmate so you cannot see his her picture. Now we don't have class over here, so you can do this activity with your parents. This is the activity which we have done earlier in semester 1 also. Sit back to back so that one cannot see each other's picture. Without looking at each other, discuss your findings. Ask your parents, how many animals did you find? How many faces did you find? Compare your answers to your classmates. I will call it over here as a friend or a parent's answer. Practice English words for describing and directions by helping each other find all the animals and faces without looking at each other. So they want you to practice English phrases and find out the picture and faces in this picture of the puzzled fox. So they want you to use the phrases. Some of the phrases example they have given. Some phrases you might use. Did you find the? Where did you find the tree on the right, the second tree on the left, the bottom of the tree trunk, above the rock, below the leaves, between the branches? So over here in this activity you have to use these phrases. These phrases are of giving directions also and also as a describing phrases. So over here you can practice and you can brush up with your English phrases. When you and your parents or classmate have found all, you can together find out what other classmates found. Who found the most faces and animals? Did you think that the class found all of the hidden figures? Record your success here. So among your parents, if you are doing this activity with your parents or with your siblings or with your friends, you can record how many faces and animals you were successful in finding out. Moving ahead to activity 4. See, there are so many these snakes pictures are there. I am so scared of these snakes. Let's see what there is there in this activity. A careful description use many details with different nouns and adjectives. A careful description can also help to make comparisons. Now over here they are saying if we do the careful descriptions using different nouns and adjectives, we are able to give the details of lot of things and also able to make helpful comparisons. Now look at the pictures of the snake. One of these snake is very dangerous. The other three are harmless and can be helpful to humans. Sometimes people kill the helpful snake because they cannot see the difference between them, and this is very true. We are so scared of snake that we forget that uh, that few snakes are not harmful and few snakes are very dangerous, but we as an individual, we do not have a knowledge of it, which one is harmful and which one is not harmful. We kill the one we get, one we encounter with, or we may call the people who can rescue us from this snake. But if we go to village, people straight away kill them only. Okay, but in cities if we get, we call the person who can rescue these snakes and keep them in a very into their own land. Imagine that you see one of the snakes near your house. You need to know if the snake is dangerous or helpful. This might happen with anyone, that you may encounter yourself with a snake near your house and you really want to know whether the snake is dangerous or helpful, but you might be having an information, you might not be having an information. Imagine that you do not have a camera but you have a phone and you have a friend who has a very good book about the snake. Imagine that you must call your friend on the phone and carefully describe the snake to find out if it is dangerous. Your friend cannot see the snake and you cannot see the book. So this is a situation that they have given, that you are having a phone and you don't have a camera but you have a friend who is having a book and you call him and ask him whether the snake, you describe the snake and he is responding and searching for the, based on the response that you are providing to him, and based on the information given in the book which your friend is having, you are trying to find out and figure out whether the snake is dangerous or not. You must describe the color of the snake. So while doing this entire activity with your friend, what kind of basic information that you should give, so that your friend is able to give you response back and accurately. So they are saying you must describe the color of the snake, which color touches each other, what order the color are in, so that the pattern or the sequence in which the snake's color is in, the color of the head and the tail. You must use nouns such as stripes, dashes, dots, patches, rectangle, triangle, diamond, square, adjectives such as fat, thin, bumpy, uneven, straight, crook, dark, light, bright, dull, shiny. You might compare the size of the color area to each other as well. So by using nouns and adjectives of different type, you may describe the snake and provide this information. Okay. Activity 5. Now choose one snake, write a careful description that you could tell your friend on the phone. This sentence starts for you. So now they have, from the above given 4 pictures in the activity 4, they want you to write a careful description about one of the snakes, and the sentence has started for you, the snake in my garden. Suppose you have seen the snake in your garden, so they want you to start with the snake in my garden. I was greatly scared, though it was not chasing me. And then you write how you have described the entire snake situation which is there in your garden. So I'll be sending you the PDF of this, but I want you to give a try to it. Share your descriptions with their classmate. Can your classmate guess which snake you describe? If not, add a new detail to your descriptions and try again. So when you are describing the snake that you have seen over here in the garden, and when you reread it and you are not able to understand which snake you have seen, then you may write an additional details about the description of the snake. Activity 6. The highly venomous snake shown in the snake picture is a Texas coral snake. Highly poisonous snake that has been shown in the picture is a Texas coral snake. Texas coral snake have a ring of black, yellow and red around their bodies. Now go back and see in the picture which snake is having these rings, yellow, red, black, yellow and red rings around their body. Which one? Red, yellow and black. I think the first one. First and second one. Red, yellow and black. Two of them are having red, yellow and black. The yellow rings are very thin compared to the black and the red ring. So now in first and second we have to see, the third is also like that. So see, they have given a description and we have to compare it. The red ring of the Texas coral snake typically have scattered black skipples in them. The last several inches of the tail of Texas coral snake contains several rings of black and yellow without the red ring. The red and yellow band touch, and the coral snake's head or nose is typically black. Nose is typically black. Sorry, not noise. Nose is typically black. Texas coral snake have a small fixed fangs in the front of their mouth. So they have given this entire description of the Texas coral snake. And if we see picture number 1, picture number 2 and picture number 3, they are having a black, red and yellow rings, but the way the entire one is described, what I think, the snake number 3, the mouth is black and the description about the tail they have given, I think the Snake number three is the poisonous venomous snake, that is the Texas coral snake. Okay. Read the description above carefully and look at the picture of the snake. Which snake do you think the paragraph describe? I think the snake number 3 is the dangerous Texas coral snake. Ask other classmates to find out what they think and write the results in the paragraph. So, snake number 1, 2, 3. This is an activity which we will skip because we don't have the uh, class group over here, but we will discuss it in our interactive session. Okay. Moving ahead to activity 7. Look at the two drawings of an endangered sea turtles. Compare the two drawings and write sentences that describe how they are different. Use the words you wrote and some ways of comparing to describe the four difference between these sea turtles. So now again they want us to see these two turtles, observe them minutely, write the differences and point of comparison between these two turtles. The way they have described it in activity 6, and they want you people to describe the snake. Imagine that you have seen the snake in your garden and describe the way that, and write it over here the way they have explained and described in activity 6. Again the same activity, the core lies the same. They want us to observe and describe. So description using nouns and adjectives over here plays a very important role. The loggerhead sea turtle is different from the green sea turtle in several ways. First, how it is different and how it is similar. So the way they are different from the sea green turtle in several ways. First, a large head with a blunt jaw, while the head of the green sea turtle is lizard like with a hooked beak and a toothless jaw. So let's see how it is. Second, the top half of the shell of the loggerhead sea turtle is reddish brown color, while the green sea turtle is smooth gray, green, brown and black. Now over here the picture is little black and white in nature. You can easily go on internet and see these two types of turtle, and I give you third and final one to write it as an homework. How you describe and compare these two turtles. The first and second one I have done it for you. I'll be sending you the PDF for this. Again in red they have said asked other classmates to find out what they think and write the result in the paragraph. So in the given paragraph you have to write the results above.